Hi, buddy. I'm Mia, and today I'm going to be making sugar cookies. Fancy sugar cookies with frosting. Fancy frosting. So without any further ado, let's get to. We're going to be making the holiday butter cookies from the King Arthur flour recipe. And this is the best sugar cookie recipe that I found so far. It works really well. It's really stable for baking. They don't spread everywhere, which is nice. And they have a really nice flavor. So we're going to do 1 1/4 cup powdered sugar. 1, 2 sticks of butter, 1/2 teaspoon salt. There's 1/4 teaspoon of old vanilla or any flavoring of your choice, and 1 egg yolk. Then we take our bowl to our old stand mixer. And we mix. Whoa. Okay, then we add the flour. It's 1 cup. 2 cups. 3/4 of a cup. All right, I'm just gonna smoosh this together into a disc sort of shape. Wrap it up and put it in the fridge to chill for a little bit. So our dough has been chilling. I'm gonna roll that out, and then I have some cute spring cookie cutters in a variety of shapes and sizes. Can't forget my favorite cookie cutter, the round one. Let's roll these puppies out. For best results, you want these about 1/4 inch thick, so maybe a little thicker than you would think a sugar cookie would be, but they come out tasting really good. Now, here are my cookies. I have them in this kind of strange pan because here's the secret. I'm going to put this in the freezer for a few minutes just before we bake them. And then they will stay pretty much exactly as they are in shape. My bigger cookie sheets won't fit in my freezer, unfortunately. Here's our cookies that are now pretty much frozen. They are going to go into the oven that's been preheating to 355 for about 12 minutes. Wisdom check. We're good. So those cookies are in the oven. I'm going to roll out the other half of our dough and get everything rolling because this makes a lot of cookies and you need to be chilling and baking and rolling at the same time. So it's kind of... Ooh, they look so good. They're just starting to brown around the edges, but they're still very pale. That's perfect. So while our cookies cool, I'm going to make some royal icing and then do the color mixing and get everything set up, and then we're going to decorate. So that's 4 cups of powdered sugar. 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of meringue powder. We're going to add 5 tablespoons of water. It looks a little off-white right now, but as it mixes up, it'll become pure white. All right. Nice. It's too thick for what we want for piping. Add another tablespoon of water and then mix it up a little bit. I like to do as much of the mixing beforehand because then it's just so much easier when you go to put the colors in. And this part is the most time-consuming part of the process, making these cookies. We want to make it as easy for ourselves as possible. So, once you have your icing, you want to make sure that you have a container with a lid. You just want to put all of your frosting in there because you don't want it to dry out. It dries out very quickly, and once it dries out, there's no going back. You can't reconstitute it because it has all these lumpy dried bits in it, and the lumpy dried bits will majorly interfere with cookie decorating. Same goes for like spoons and spatulas, that sort of thing. Make sure you rinse it off so it's nice and fresh next time you go into new icing, or else you'll get all these crusty bits in your nice icing, and you don't want that. Nobody likes a crusty bit. So now's the fun part. We get to do our colors. I have a spare bit of parchment here, and I'm just going to take a little bit of my frosting. I found a color palette on Pinterest that I really like, but I'm not sure exactly how to make this nice deep plum color, and that's where the small portion of frosting comes in, because you can experiment with ratios and colors without ruining your entire batch of icing. I know we want some red. Oh, jeez. Looks like a horror movie. I want some blue. I want some brown. Try some purple. Nope, that just turned more brown. So I'm going to start out now with pink. A lot of pink. Oh yeah, that's pink, all right. Hot pink. A little blue. Okay, yeah, that is the exact color we're looking for. It's nice plum color. I don't know if you can see it here, but trust me, it's nice. So for each of our colors, we're going to do two different forms of icing. So we're going to do the straight up, just how it is with color in it, and then we're going to take some of that and thin it down for our flooding icing. So you have to make sure that you grabbed enough frosting in order to do like essentially 2 batches. And we're going to do 5 colors today. Now this is a handy part if you have many dishes with lids on them. You can just portion out your frosting and be done with it. A lot of pink, a little blue. And stirring, you want to be careful not to stir in too fast or too vigorously because of the air bubbles, and those are difficult to work around. Not impossible, but difficult. Gel food coloring is the best food coloring for this because it doesn't change the consistency of your frosting too much. I find that there's a range of consistency that will work. And see how this is the most time-consuming part of the process to get exactly the colors that you're looking for. I just want to put half of that, about half, a little bit less into your piping bag in a number 4 round tip, and a little bit more than half we will do our flooding consistency. Take a little bit of water at a time and mix it in as carefully as you can without creating air bubbles till it will run on its own basically, but not, you want it to run without running too fast. You want it to kind of jog, slow jog. Slightly more water than that, just a little drop. So you want it to basically fall back in on itself and disappear relatively quickly. I have these ketchup and mustard bottles that I bought at, I don't know, the dollar store or something. And they used to have the cap that attached, just took that off because it'll just get in your way. But we're just gonna fill our bottle. Okay, so now we have to do the next color, which is similar color, yet much less intense and a little bit browner. But that is basically the color we want right there. Sort of a pinky mauve. Yes. Color number 2, we get our clean spatula, which is now dyed pink, which is wonderful. Grab some more frosting. You know, I used to make these cookies to sell, and they cost a lot because there's a lot of time involved, and I don't think people realize quite how much time is involved. Like, you spend a long time getting your colors right. I've been mixing colors here for about half an hour already, and we're only 2 colors in. And we haven't even gotten to the decorating. A little darker. We could take some of this brown. Maybe it's a little crusty. And I just warned you against this. I know I did. Do as I say, not as I do. All right, we're gonna do sort of a sea green. That's nice, but we need it to be like so many shades brighter. Okay, next we want just a kind of a cream color. For the last bit. So this is going to be our color palette for our cookies, and I think it's going to look pretty good. All right, it's time for my favorite part, the best part, the most exciting part, frosting. Things that are helpful to have: toothpicks, piece of parchment paper. Before you start icing, always make sure that your frosting comes out how you want it. Okay, we're gonna leave that to dry. Make sure you put your cookies somewhere you're not going to accidentally touch them, because that will ruin your frosting. And that's sad, and you will cry. And you can change the tips, do something different. The frosting takes a long time. It takes less time if you decorate each cookie the same way, but I like to do each cookie differently, so it takes a long time. But they come out so pretty. So let's try one, shall we? The royal icing, when that dries completely, it's crunchy, and then the cookie is nice and crunchy as well, so you have like this nice crunchy situation going on. And the super sweetness of the icing balances out the cookie, which is not that sweet. Mostly I just wanted to make these because they're pretty and springy, and that was pretty much my only reasoning. I'm pretty happy with the colors we chose. They look pretty good. The dark purple is a little bitter tasting because of all the dye that's in there. So it's not the best tasting frosting when you get the purple one, but it does look beautiful. So these work best if you let them sit and let the frosting harden for a couple hours, and then you can stack them, you can pile them into containers. They're pretty sturdy once the frosting is hard, so you don't have to be too gingerly with them. This was so fun. I will see you next week when we whisk up something else. Bye, buddy! Cookies.